Hi guys, Ben here from Witterings Fitness. I'm with Ali and she is from the Thrive team, and they are coaching and organizational well-being, executive coaching and organizational well-being with a focus on mental health in the workplace. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk through their 5 ways of well-being and things that people can do to keep their mental health good during self-isolation. And they are also going to be doing a online drop-in at 1 o'clock every day. Is that right, Alison?
That is right, yeah. Every workday, Monday to Friday, at 1 o'clock for about half an hour or so. So, yeah.
Cool.
So
thanks for joining me, and thanks for joining us. And yeah, go for it. So your 5 ways of well-being then.
Great, thanks, Ben. And yes, I'm going to talk to you about the 5 ways to well-being, which was based on some research by the New Economics Foundation, probably about 11 or so years ago now. And what they found was that these 5 ways are good for promoting positive mental health. And what I love about them is that they are really simple and we can apply them to our lives on a daily basis. So the first one is around staying connected, which at the moment in the world that we are living in is so important, with so many more people going into self-isolation, working from home, and of course we are behind a few other countries, and so we can probably see what is coming. So it's really important that we stay connected and look to strengthen our existing relationships. So for me, that's about this being a really good time to catch up with people that perhaps you haven't had the opportunity to speak with. You know, life's really busy and we get kind of stuck in a, nose to the grindstone. But what this is a really good opportunity for us to catch up with old friends, old colleagues, perhaps family that lives overseas. Perhaps you can arrange a Skype call or Zoom, whatever platform you want to use is there. If there's the opportunity to talk to somebody new as well, take it, because it's, we don't know who we meet and who might kind of be important in our lives. So particularly think about other people, talk to somebody new. They may not have the support network that you have, so make sure that you engage wherever you can. Check in with your neighbours as well, if that's possible. If you're not self-isolating, if you can have a chat, even if it's over the fence or from a distance, do that. And if you're like me, maybe it's getting to know your neighbours, because I, like many people, don't know my neighbours as
No, a lot of
well
people
as
don't
I
know their
should.
neighbours, do
No,
they?
not these days. Gone are the conversations over the garden fence, I think.
Yeah.
But perhaps now's the opportunity to look for those. And if you are working from home, maybe take the opportunity to buddy up with somebody from the workplace. Make sure you have a daily call with them, or a Zoom, whatever technology you might be using. But make sure that you stay in contact is really important.
I think they're making it a part of your regular day. Getting into your own routine is going to be the biggest thing.
Absolutely. It's, I've worked from home lots of times in the past, and it's so easy to sit down in your office, your dining room table, wherever it is, and you're literally head down in work. And depending on what sort of work you do, you might not look up from your laptop or have a conversation with anyone until the evening. So really, you might have to plan in those times, because you're not going to have those usual interactions, meeting somebody when you go to make a coffee, that sort of thing. So yeah, make an appointment to speak to somebody if you need to.
Definitely.
So that's staying connected. I'm sure lots of people have got other thoughts on that as well, but that's probably some things there to get people going and get people thinking. Number 2, keep learning. Our brain is a muscle and it needs exercising as well as our body. And I guess now is a really great time perhaps to explore some things that you've wanted to learn more about, but maybe just haven't had the time to do. So maybe plan in some time to do some research on a new topic. There are loads of free training courses available online. So there are organisations called Future Learn, the Open University also run free courses. YouTube is great for videos, also watching TED Talks. So there's loads of free stuff out there. It doesn't have to cost money. And again, what's really good about those sorts of things is they generally tend to be quite short. So if you want to grab half an hour here or there, it's a good way to do it. Sometimes it's about setting ourselves new challenges, for doing something new that might stimulate your brain. So for me, this afternoon, I'm going to run a lunchtime session, the get-togethers that you mentioned, Ben. And whilst I've been on the receiving end of a kind of group session from Zoom, I've never been in control of it. So this morning, I've had to quickly learn how to operate Zoom in perhaps for a bigger group. So that's kind of certainly stimulated my brain this morning. Try something new. Maybe it's about reading a different genre of book that you normally read, perhaps setting up an online book club with a group of friends. Maybe you used to have a hobby and you've let it go, so perhaps you could rediscover it or think about
I was thinking of getting my art kit back out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Crayon crayons.
Oh no, not crayons. Come on, I'm not that
bad. That's really good, because creativity is really important as well for us, and for our mental well-being.
Or another thing people can learn, keeping it in probably with your next point, double unders, skip in, get your skipping ropes out, try and get the rope under twice.
Yeah, brilliant.
There you go.
Yeah, that's all about keeping active, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
The other kind of learning platforms, LinkedIn has a learning platform as well.
Oh, yeah.
Some of that is free, so have a look at LinkedIn Learning. And if you like a crossword or Sudoku, or even if you don't, give it a go. And perhaps learn a new language, or even learn some more words from your current language. We tend to stick to our known vocabulary, and often, when we're adults, we tend not to extend it too much. But maybe think about learning a new word every day.
I actually have a website that I used when I was trying to learn Spanish, which is italki, and you can actually basically Skype someone. So if it's Spain, you can Skype someone in Spain and talk to them for free, I think. And just trying to learn, obviously, just trying to learn that. I think you can get lessons on there as well.
Yeah.
But that would be quite cool.
Great. That sounds good.
Yeah, italki.
Yeah, brilliant. So for all those holidays that are currently being postponed, get our language skills up so that when we finally get to go, we can converse more comfortably. Okay, so the next one is being active, and clearly I'm no expert in being active.
Well, you're getting there. You're getting there.
I am getting there. So with your amazing help, I am getting there. So and you've been very flexible and been able to provide those sessions online, which is great. And so it does mean that I can still carry on, and I really appreciate that. So, there are the simple things. When we work from home, as I've mentioned, it tends to be head down, and it could be hours gone before we've moved. Really important to keep moving. So make sure you kind of walk up and down the stairs, around the room. Make sure you have a break from your screen. So yeah, those are the basic things. And I'm sure you've got loads more ideas, so I'll leave you to talk about those.
Yeah, well, we're getting on. So we've done, obviously, Alison and I have done online training. So
and there is video proof.
There is video proof. And then we're going to be doing the groups. We're going to be taking our groups online as well if people can't come in here. So that's another thing. We've also got a training app. So you can actually, you've got all the pre-recorded videos that people can follow as well. I think if we are allowed outside, if you're not self-isolating, then get outside while you can. Or if you can get in just into your garden, just get into nature. And I think getting into sunlight when we're stuck inside is going to be a big thing as well. So, and I don't know if you're going to talk about nutritional side of things, but people stocking up on pasta, not the most nutritional, food
No,
out there.
I mean, I hadn't planned to talk about nutrition, but obviously it is really important. And you're right, you know, that the shelves are cleared of rice and pasta. They're good stock staples, but to add to, but wherever you can, obviously fresh fruit and veg, even frozen, is great. So I think making sure you've got a balanced diet and can vary it as much as possible. And if you can't get outside, try and keep the windows open. So and the other thing I would say is, again, I know when I used to work from home, I drank far more coffee than I do these days. So a tendency to punctuate your day with coffee or other kind of caffeine-laden substances, you know, try and get some water or some other fluid into you that doesn't kind of create
herbal teas and ginger and lemon.
Yeah,
help for your
absolutely.
immunities.
Yes. Yeah. Really, really important. Okay.
Cool.
Are we done on the being active?
If you're not, go on then. We're done.
Okay. I mean, and well, I suppose So if we can get out and have a walk, then we should be doing it. A friend of mine said on the phone the other day he's thinking about lending out his dog so that people could take it for a walk, and not because he doesn't want to, but because I think in other countries where self-isolation is you know, basically they're in lockdown, you're kind of only allowed out if you are taking your dog for a walk. So going to lend his dog out so people can get out, because it is important. Yeah. Okay, so we move on to number 4 of our 5 ways to well-being, and that is about giving. So it doesn't mean giving presents to people, although that always makes us feel good, but it does when we give to others those random acts of kindness, it makes us feel good about ourselves. So perhaps it's about having those kind of conversations of appreciation with people, complimenting people, emails of appreciation to co-workers or family, supporting your community in whatever you can. So I've seen lots of amazing people offering their help and support to other members of the community that might need it. So if that is picking up bits of shopping, if it is taking the dog for a walk, helping out in whatever way they can. When we do that for other people, it really does make us feel good about ourselves. So, you know, it can be linked into that staying connected. So having conversations with people, but being that ear for people to talk to. So you're the listening ear. Maybe it's thinking about what skills that you have that you could exchange with others. So do you have some knowledge that you can share with others? Maybe help somebody else keep learning, and maybe that boosts your skills in some way as well. So in exchange of skills, maybe it's providing some coaching or sharing some knowledge, and somebody else providing something back to you that would be of benefit. And another thing I thought of, and I guess there is a financial impact on this, but obviously there are lots of services and businesses that essentially will come to a standstill because they've got no customers. But if, you know, perhaps it's about buying a gift voucher for a local supplier that you could give to somebody else. So if you do have presents to buy for people, you want to show appreciation in some way, you could buy you know, a gift voucher so they can use it when they're able to, but it does keep the economy going, and it does help those small businesses. So again, it's kind of that double whammy of you're feeling good because you're helping lots of people along the way.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's good.
Great. And then the last one is around taking notice. So you mentioned, Ben, about kind of being out in nature, and that's really important. And taking notice is often linked to kind of taking notice of what's happening around us in nature. So, you know, pay attention to the sunset, to the sunrise, to the moon, the stars. You know, if you can look out the window, what's going on. If you've got houseplants, even, you know, how are they changing? What's happening? So it's taking notice of the little things. We live our lives on autopilot, and I'm certainly not a mindfulness expert, but slowing down and taking notice of what we eat, taking time to prepare food, and noticing things with all of our senses. So the smells, the sounds, what we can feel, what we can see, what we can taste. Again, these all help with our well-being. Other things that people can do, if you're like me, you're perhaps a little bit of a hoarder, like to create a bit of clutter in places. Perhaps this is a good opportunity to clear that clutter, get rid of stuff that you don't need so you can take notice of what you really do need. And again, something occurred to me this morning as I was using a product that I was about to run out of. I think this is, you know, the kind of world that we're in at the moment for the next few months is probably help us to reevaluate things in our lives and whether we need them. So, you know, we might not be able to go and buy it again. So do we really need it? So take notice about what does that give you, that product, that item. If you need it, great. And if you don't, then make a conscious decision not to kind of buy it again, as it were. If people do want to practice mindfulness, there are apps that you can use to do that. There's Headspace, very well-known one. There's also another one called Insight Timer, which have a lot of guided meditations around different topics. And so they may be useful to some people. And I think lastly, it's about practicing gratitude as well. So it's been noticing the small things and being grateful for them. You know, I try to do that on a daily basis, and often it will be very much linked to nature. So this morning, driving into work, and there were 3 little ducks just kind of lined up, just sitting there. They were in the way, and had to wait for them to move. And I'm grateful for that, because that's a lovely thing to see. It's not something that we encounter every day. So, you know, these are things that we can do. So that's kind of the 5 ways to well-being, and some ways in which we can introduce that, or some new thoughts about how we might do that in our daily lives at the moment. I think there's one thing that we haven't mentioned, and that's sleep, and how important sleep is. And so it's making sure that you get enough rest, and perhaps linked to that, we could allow ourselves to be consumed with all the doom and gloom that there is at the moment, but maybe it's about kind of limiting our time spent watching the news, on social media, seeing all of that feed come through, because that's probably going to impact on how we sleep as well. So it's about knowing how much sleep you need and having a good sleep hygiene routine to ensure you get it and make sure you're well rested.
Yeah, I think it's all about, this all comes back to what opportunities are there, isn't it? Like maybe it's an opportunity to catch up on sleep. Maybe it's an opportunity to, maybe you've lost your job and it sucks, but it could be an opportunity to do that thing that you've been putting off doing, and you've got time to actually focus on it now. And like you say, reevaluate what's important, what things we have which we don't really need, learning new stuff. I know personally, when ex-army, when I was deployed in the military, I got into meditation when I was confined to a small
Yep.
space, which is what everyone's going to be
Mm.
basically doing. And that really helped, because you can't go anywhere. You're in a
Yeah.
small compound
Yeah.
with however many people.
Yeah.
And yeah, people get on your nerves. But
Yeah.
meditation, you can kind of
Can
get
really
out a
help.
little bit in
Yeah.
your own head. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
And
awesome.
just kind of following on from that, I think, and linked to that is, there are lots of things in this world that we can't control, but we
Yeah.
have control over a lot of things. And so it's thinking about the things that you can actually control yourself and focusing on those, and trying not to worry about the things that you can't control, because they will happen. But if you focus on what you can control, then it creates that sense of control within you, and that helps with anxiety and worry.
And I think so. I'm currently reading the Daily Stoic, which is philosophy from the Romans and the Greeks. Very, very modern, even though it's thousands of years old. And in there, they make the point: there are things you control, but the only thing you have 100% control over is your mind. That you know, short of being brainwashed, which you still have to be kind of open to.
Yeah.
Your mind is the only thing you have 100% control over. So, and it cannot. It sometimes don't feel like that. But I think the thoughts you have, the feelings, and then the actions
Absolutely.
that subsequently come from those. So
and so it's not the action, it's not the events that are the issue. It's our response to the event that we have control over. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. I think we'll leave it there, because I think we could carry on talking about this all day, couldn't we?
We could.
So how do people sign up for your drop-in then?
So, good question. We've got a link. So we've got a link for people to be able to do that. So I guess the easiest way to tell them about that now would be if they drop me an email, and that email address is Ali, ALI, at the Thrive Team. That's the Thrive Team, all one word, .co.uk. So that's Ali at thethriveteam.co.uk, and I will get people sent a link, and it would be great to have as many people join us. So they're going to be running Monday to Friday, 1 to 1:30, very informal. We're calling it a lunchtime get together, an opportunity for people to connect with others in a similar situation and have a chat and have a think about their well-being and focus on their self-care.
Awesome. I didn't know you didn't have a link ready to go there, but that's fine.
I caught you short. But no, there is a link, but it's a Zoom link, so it'll be really long to read out.
So what we could do is, for members, I can create a class on our booking system.
Brilliant.
And then they could link through that as well.
I will send you the link to do that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Lovely.
Thanks so much.
Great. Thanks, Ben. Good to talk to you.
See you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.